Hi, my name is Brett Kingman. Welcome to my little room in Mount Eliza, Victoria, Australia, and I am here as a guest. I'm very flattered to be a guest of the Guitar.com live inaugural event. Thank you for inviting me. Excuse me, Guitar.com. I've got about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, to have a bit of a chat and show you how I approach writing presets with my favourite modeler, which is the Axe-Fx III. I don't actually call it a modeler anymore. It's really an amp to me, and I'm well over 50. I've got a dozen great tube amps in here, but it is just another form of amplification, just to inform the controversy that goes on in all of the forums. It's just a great tool, and I couldn't live without it, and it's taught me a lot about different amps and cabinets and all sorts of stuff. I'm raving. This preset that I've introduced my little rave with is just one preset that I call LA Looks, and it has a clean tone. Very clean tone, almost reminiscent of the old Rockman. It's got a lead tone. And I'll show you here the amp blocks, what's going on. That's a Soldano 88. And then I've got a bit of a gentish tone. Can't play the gent very well, but I sure do enjoy mucking around with it. Yeah, so a preset, single preset can handle a lot, especially in this firmware, and I might just go through how I approach writing a preset and jamming as much as I possibly can into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear this one, because I've already saved it somewhere else, and we'll just start afresh. Ding, 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 ding. Clearing, clearing. Goodbye. You are gone. We've got 8 scenes per preset. Scenes, that's what these 8 numbers 1 to 8 represent here. Basically presets within a preset. So I'm going to begin on number 1. I'm going to call this something. Of course, what are we going to call it? I think we'll call it guitar.com.live. That would be good, wouldn't it? And then I can upload it to you guys. You can muck around with it. Scene 1 is going to be my clean scene. And we need a signal path because at the moment there's nothing because the guitar's not seeing an input. Let's create one of those. Input 1, lovely. There it is, my little gain knob there. Gain meter is telling me that I've got input. And we need it to come out of something, and there are 4 outputs on the Axe-Fx III. I'm going to use output 1 because it is going straight to Logic, which is what we're recording with today. So I use these green dots to join them up. And there we go. And we have a lovely unadulterated clean. I'll save that. I'll just save as I go. It's always a good thing to do, I think. And backup, of course. We need an amplifier with which to amplify our tone. So here's my amp block, and we need a cabinet. So here's my cabinet block. Now each of these blocks, let's go to the amp first, have 4 different channels. That means that I can assign 4 different amplifiers per scene. It's crazy, per preset rather. So we said that scene 1 is going to be clean. Let's pick a nice clean amp. The Solo 99 clean is already there. Let's have a listen to it. Lovely. Which cabinet have we got? We've got 4x12 British 70s greenback marked with a 313 and a 57. And I have to say that they sound pretty good. But if they didn't, if I wasn't happy with those and they're in channel A, we can have 4 channels of cabinets as well. Are you following all this? So I could have, you know, on channel B, for instance, I could have, well, it's got gent cabinets in it at the moment, but I could just pick another one, and I could say, well, I just like a 1x12, please. And there's 2,000 cabs, or 2,000 plus cabs in the current firmware. So I'll go 1x12 in the search engine and see what it brings up. And it brings up all of these, which are quite a lot. So let's, for instance, select the Carol Ann marked with a Royal 121 and turn it on in channel B and turn off the USA gent. It sounds good. It sounds good, but I'll go back to channel A, which has my greenbacks in it, because I like them. Back to the amp block. It's pretty loud. I'm going to have to turn it down here. And I've got a preset leveling utility over here on the left, which is very handy. Basically, you just want it to tickle that red. So I'll bring it down another couple of dB. So at its loudest spot on the guitar. Yeah, it's just writing it there. So I'll leave it at minus 13.7 dB, and it's seeing the greenback cabs. Very good. Save, Mr. Kingman. Excellent. There's not too much bass or anything going on there. I don't think. It's nice and flat. Cool as. Scene 2, I think we might make a nice dirty scene, so we'll call it Marsha, shall we? Because it's going to be Marsha. And that means I can pick another channel with which to give us our Marsha sound, and it's going to have something that I like a lot. Oh, a nice Plexi amp. Here we go. Oh, a Plexi 100 jumped. Rock and roll. And I'll reset that block just to make sure all the controls are at default. Okay, it's getting pretty farty. Because I've got on the neck pickup. Oh, that's better. Let's just bump these controls up. So we've got a treble control and a normal control, as you would find on the front face of a Plexi 100. And I'm going to give these a bit of a looking at too. There's not much wrong with that at all. If I was worried about the bass, I could go down here into the second page of the amp block, and there, as you can see, there are about 9 pages with things to control your amp tone with, and use the bass cut here. But I actually like that thump, so I'm going to leave it back to the authentic page. The authentic basically means that these are the controls that you would see on the real thing. If you want to get deeper, you can go to Ideal, where it'll present you with more controls. And then you can get into the preamp stage, the power amp stage, even the power supplier stage. If you go down to the speaker, you'll see the speaker impedance curve, which is, at the moment, it's for a 4x12 greenback, which is good because that's what we're using in our cabs. But you could tell it to be, you know, anything else pretty much. It's very handy, extraordinarily comprehensive. All right, that's a good sound. So on scene 1, I've got my clean. On scene 2, I've got my Marshall. Let's put some effects in, shall we? We will have, I think we'll have a wah block. One wah block, lovely, and I'll turn him off though, because otherwise it's going to be nose central. We'll have a compressor, great, and I'll reset that compressor. Excellent. This is our threshold here. It's cool, isn't it? But I'll turn that off. We might use it for the clean tone. A phaser would be fun. We'll pop a phaser block in there, and with a Marshall at least, I like the vibe, and the good vibe is the FAS vibe, Fractal Audio Systems vibe. Not much needs to be done to that, so we'll leave that there, and I'll turn it off because I don't want to hear it until I want to hear it. Just for fun and more distortion, With both amps, our clean and our dirty, we will have a drive block, I think, placed just before the amp block, and I'll reset that as well, because today's drive block will be the good old 808 with the drive down and the level up. Just giving it that mid-range honk and a bit more sustain in the preamp front end. Now, how is that going to sit with our clean amplifier? First of all, I'm going to turn these blocks off that I've put into our clean amplifier, into our basic signal path. Oh, it's very clean, isn't it? Let's pop the compressor on. It wants a bit more volume. I'm not sure if that's the right compressor. I'm going to go for the old Dynacomp. Turn this threshold down and bump this level up and bring the compression down to about 4:1. Okay, now we're talking. That's a good compressor. We'll leave that there. And as far as the drive goes, the 808 with that level into a clean amp is going to be too much, I think. It's pretty good actually, but you know, it's not doing. It's just giving me that classic Tube Screamer mid-range grind. So I might, for scene one at least, I'll choose a different overdrive, and that's the beauty of channels. I can do that, you see. So now I can choose something like, gosh, where to go? Let's go to the box of crunch. Yeah, hello, box of crunch. That is way too much level and probably not enough distortion. Not bad. Use the bass response down here to tailor it even further, and I know that in a crunch box too, those second diodes, if I'm not mistaken, are 4001s, and there are two of them. Or is it one of them? I can't remember, but look at what you can do. You can, you know, get in there and muck around with the transistors and the clipping diodes and all that stuff. It's just great. So I've got a great overdrive, a great distortion box in front of my clean amp, and I'm going to save it exactly like that. So now I've got scene one is clean. I've got a drive to muck around with. Scene two is the Marshall. And I've got an 808 to muck around with. Excellent. Let's pop some reverbs and delays in there because I like reverbs and delays, and I'm going to run them in parallel. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop a delay in right here. And it's running parallel, as you can see, graphically to the dry signal path. So I'm just going to join it up there. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to mix it 100%. And that lets our dry signal flow through. And we can alter the level of our delay with the level control here. That's pretty darn good. There are a lot of delays in our delay block, a lot of different delays. Let's have a look at this. Deluxe Mind Guy. You know, that's probably going to be Deluxe Memory Man, right? Much softer, warmer sounding thing. Great, great, great. Now it's got a big, we go down to the EQ page and you can see that there is a fairly high cut off at 3K. Bring that up to 4. No, actually I'll bring it back to 3. It was good. But what I'll also do is low cut it at about 100. So you don't get all that flubbiness being brought back into the signal as well. So that's a pretty good delay, I think. And it's at 1/8 dotted if I've got a tap tempo controller at my feet, which I do, but you can't see it. So let's have a look now at a reverb. And I'm going to do the same thing with the reverb, and that is join it up here in parallel to the dry signal path. So it's weaving in and out here. I'm going to reset the block so you can hear the difference. Too loud. Mix it in. Make sure your bypass, if you're doing this, is mute effects in so that that signal doesn't get stopped there. Sorry, so that it does get stopped there, it doesn't go any further. So if I bypass it, it's gone. I'll turn the delay off just so we can hear it a little bit better. There's a ton of great reverbs. In fact, 52 at the moment, my godfather. Wide Hall. Love that. So bring the phaser back in. The vibe. Huh? You know what I'm talking about? So what was I doing there? Back to zero. Back to zero, you. That's pretty great. Probably a bit too much reverb. No problemo. What else can we have? We could have, actually I'm gonna, yeah, let's have, I'll put this cabinet block over here so we can pop a little chorus in there as well. All right, and choruses, we've got a lot of different choruses. I'll just reset that block. If you don't reset it, it'll default to whatever you used the last time, really. So. That's what I love about the Marshall models, the dynamics that you can get just with backing the volume off. You know, I'm pretty happy with that chorus already. That's just the analog stereo. If I go one step further, I could turn dimension mode on so it gives it a greater depth. Yeah, turn that off. Levels are good, mix is good. Here's the basic control. So you can alter the LFO type if you want to. You can get in there and, you know, look, 9 different waveforms. You can tap tempo it. 2 LFOs, phase reversal if you want to get into that sort of stuff. It's very thorough. Alright, how are we looking? So we've got our 2 scenes, we've got clean and dirty. I'm going to save that, so we've got a good bunch of effects happening there. Let's just go back to scene 1, see what we need to turn on and off. Probably don't want the chorus on. Probably do want the comp on. Save. Now, let's go back to scene 2. How am I going for time? 10 minutes, okay. Let's say I like scene 2, which is basically our Marshall-esque amp and, you know, the right cab and a bit of reverb. But for scene 3, I would like the Marshall-esque amp with the phaser on, maybe a different phaser, you know, the EVH phaser perhaps, and a tube screamer with a delay for solos. So the first thing I can do to make things easier for myself is go to the scenes pull-down menu here and copy scene 2, which is what we're on at the moment, to scene 3. So we go to scene 3, and there it is, everything is the same. But now I can turn on the drive, which is our 808. I can turn on the delay. That delay is a little bit severe for my solo sound, so I'm going to go to another delay block, another delay channel rather, and I'm going to find just something a little bit subtler, like a lo-fi, like a stereo tape delay. Here we go. And I'm going to mute the effects in, and I'm going to turn it down a bit. Pretty good. Great. And I set a phaser I would like, and channel B, because I don't want the vibe, I want a different sort of phaser. I want the script 90 phaser. Yeah, all right. Cool. So the phaser adds that little bit of mid-range that, you know, that Ed Van Halen used to love, because it would just make things jump out and give it that extra dimension. So we're going to call that Marsha Solo, for want of anything else you can rename it. And that's on scene 3. So now on scene, if everything goes to plan, sometimes it doesn't when you're writing presets. Scene 1 should be our clean preset. Scene 2 should be our dirt. Scene 3. The last thing I would do, I'll just go back to scene 2, is enable this wah. I'll reset that block. I like the Clyde wah, but I can choose, as you can see, quite a few different ones there. And I need to be able to turn it on and off with a foot pedal. So I go here and I say yes, turn it on. Look at all the ways you can turn it on and off. Mad, but very helpful. FC1, pedal 1, which is what I've got plugged in at my feet that you can see going up and down right now, and that means, but it's not turning off. Why isn't it turning off? Well, because I haven't put auto engage on. So I'm going to just choose one of these, and it's going to be medium position auto engage. That means when I put it down a little bit, it's going to turn on or off. I love that. And that will carry right across all of the scenes. With a bit of luck, here's our solo scene. And scene 1 as well. So now I'm a happy little wah guy. How many minutes have I got? I've got a couple of minutes left. Let's put other stuff in here. First of all, that delay is pretty severe for the clean sound, I think. So I'm going to go to channel B, which is what we used for the solo sound, the stereo tape. Much more civilized. Great. So let's say I wanted to make an ambient kind of scene. First thing I'll do is and we'll put that in the ambient scene in scene 4. So I'll copy this clean scene over to scene 4. Yes, thank you very much. And then we'll go to scene 4 and we'll look at our reverb here, which is the wide hall with a fairly minimal level. Not bad. If I choose another of the channels on the reverb block, specifically for scene 4, let's say channel A, Asylum Hall. Asylum Hall's good. Reset that channel. Let's have a look at one of the humongous reverbs. Stratocumulus. Very beautiful. I think that's probably all I need for my ambient tone. So I'm just going to call it that and save it. So now I can go from my clean tone, which is here in scene 1, directly to then if I want to, in one preset, I've got all that stuff happening that I can switch on and off as well, because I can configure my foot controller to turn individual effects on and off on the fly, which is a great thing. And if I wanted to have those reverbs hanging over into the next scene, I could do that, because most of these blocks, the delay block, for instance, has extra blocks. So you can assign individual blocks to each scene, in which case, when you go to the next scene, that delay will just hang over until it wears out. The same with the reverb. Incredibly comprehensive and really good fun. But I've run out of time now, so I can't show you any more. But what I will do is we'll save this preset exactly as it is, and I'm going to upload it to the guys at guitar.com live, and I'm going to say thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the virtual show, which promises to be a good one. And if you've got an Axe-Fx 3, pull this preset in, muck around with it, upload it again with your own tweaks, and I hope you have a great week. See you soon. Thanks for watching.